Alright everyone, the time has come to see our favorite governmental bozos Watergate plan in action during today's episode 3 review of HBO's original series, The White House Plumbers. For those of you who are just joining us for the first time, I highly recommend checking out episode 1 and episode 2 reviews just so you're all caught up on what's going on so far. Now with all that out of the way, let's get started. Side note, I feel like a parrot at this point without even trying, but man, do the first 4 minutes really show you how stupid these fucking guys are.
Over. Unit 2, where are you going? Why are you passing the entrance to the henhouse?
But I do have to give it to Howard here because his plan is actually pretty sound once you hear him explain it.
There's a 24-hour guard in the lobby, so I found us a back door.
What back door?
The complex contains 6 different buildings, all interconnected, so we can bypass lobby security. Good evening, gentlemen. Welcome to the Watergate office building, home of the Democratic National Committee.
Very nice, boss.
See, that makes pretty good sense to me. Instead of waiting around in your cars for the little shindig to be over, you might as well go in there and have fun, you know, kind of like hiding yourself in plain sight sort of deal. Yeah, maybe this is why I'm not cut out for the spy business, but then again, neither are they. During their little dinner, there's a lot of bantering going back and forth between all the crewmates, but my favorite thing in this beginning scene after the intro is Jeb and his soup.
How come you got soup?
Because it was soup or salad.
I thought it was soup and salad.
Thank you.
What the shit? You got another soup?
I ordered it.
Can I get another soup?
Very sorry, sir. That was the last one.
So they clear out of the banquet hall and begin the mission, where they find this little back alley entrance that they can slip into, but the problem is that there's this lamp post overhead that's just completely too bright and will give away their position. Now Gordon, being the man that he is, decides that the best course of action would be to take out his pistol and shoot the light out. But this leads to more amazing banter between the crew, and it's just phenomenal.
Did you serve? I did. I missed out on all the action. In basic training, before we shipped out to Korea, the fellows challenged me to a sit-up contest. Blew my appendix.
Maybe it's your appendix.
Obviously, I know it's fictional banter for entertainment purposes, but it's fucking funny. Sue me. I don't care. The security guard finds Howard and one of the Cubans still just hanging out in the banquet hall, so they pack up and leave while Gordon finally shoots out the light and their men get to the door that Gordon's man's supposed to be on the other side, or so they thought.
Hi.
You are our inside man. What are you doing outside?
The janitor found me.
He got scared. The kid, he must have come out the front door.
I don't think I'm cut out for this stuff, sir. I'm sorry.
What? Godless Mormon!
Gordon's insults are just so ridiculous. Granted, they're not very PC, but I feel like if anybody ever came up to me and just called me a gutless Mormon, I would immediately just start dying laughter. Like, how is that an insult?
Nieta, you didn't tell me it was a double-sided deadbolt.
Are you saying we're locked in?
Sí, estamos atrapados.
Back to the closet.
Now Howard and Cuban are stuck in the closet R. Kelly style because they didn't bring the right tools to pick into the locks again. This whole crew is just in shambles. Once they get out of the Watergate after spending the night, Howard is awoken by Sabrina the teenage witch telling him that Gordon has come to visit and they all have the most important meal of the day.
That is noble work.
Grade all that tuition right down.
Charlie!
I don't understand how everybody is so calm after Gordon just straight pulls a gun on Howard's young child. Granted, it was probably like some form of reflex or something, but at the same time, you can't just pull a gun on a kid and just go back to eating your fucking eggs. Dorothy is the only one that ever really throws shade at Gordon other than some of the members of the crew, and it makes me so happy because she is just not beat for Gordon at all.
Only real guns in the Liddy household.
I do not need child-rearing lessons from you. Dankeschön.
Howard takes Gordon outside so he doesn't end up killing his child, to where they're trying to go over a new plan. Gordon comes up with a new plan and about just walking straight through the front door, and I think it's a pretty solid plan even though Howard disagrees with it.
What's our cover? We're all with the DNC and we forgot our wallets.
But then Lady Boy makes sense again.
Oh no, Magruder has no idea about last night's debacle. If we go in tonight, it's as though last night never even happened.
You won't get reamed by your boss, it's straight to the point, and it beats any of these crazy theatrics that they have tried so far and have miserably failed at. Break-in attempt 2 is now underway, and they just have to talk their way past a security guard, in which they give him some bullshit and he believes it somehow.
Can I help you?
We have an appointment. They'll reserve of us. 8th floor.
At midnight?
He was asking the right questions at first, but then kind of just didn't give a fuck and let them in anyways. I mean, Howard signed in as Fidel Castro, for God's sakes. Jeb sneaks off to go do Jeb things and screw this not even formulated plan up even more. This is when we learn that the Cubans didn't even bring the right tools.
I have the right tools.
He has the right tools.
Well, they have the right tools.
In Miami.
Just as Jeb is being caught by security, but don't worry. It's an old
Larry?
colleague of his,
Jim?
so he kind of just like smooth talks his way out of it.
What are you doing here? I got a meeting at the Federal Reserve.
But within smooth talking his way out of it, he just spills the fucking beans about the entire confidential secret plan that they're doing.
This is Jim McCord, John Mitchell's bodyguard.
And I started my own firm, doing some contract work with the committee to elect.
Which at the time, Jeb's spilling the beans about this whole mysterious dark shadow undergroup that the government's got going on. It doesn't seem like a big thing at the time, but you'll soon find out that it fucks everything up. It's like a domino effect. Flash forward back to Howard's house where the gang is kind of just chilling and then going over what happened and then reaming out Jeb trying to figure out what the hell happened and where he went to and what he said and did. In which Dorothy comes down a whole 70s housewife style with like sandwiches and shit.
Turkey, ham, tuna fish.
Tonight, and we're all going in again. We cannot break in a third time, Gordon.
We have not broken in once!
Damn, I'm usually shitting on Gordon, but he's absolutely right. They haven't even broken in once because this crew is taken straight off the island of misfit agents. The shown hatred that Dorothy and Gordon have for each other is spectacular.
Dorothy.
Gordon.
Because it's exactly how two petty people forced to interact with one another would be acting. So it's like very spot on. Kevin is leaving to head back to school because her summer or spring break is over. I can't remember which one it is. And Dorothy and Gordon are kind of just bickering back and forth about why breaking in a fourth time is a terrible idea.
Is any of this nickel and dime cloak and dagger stuff necessary?
We can't afford to take chances with the future of democracy.
So forcing your viewpoints through shady tactics is democratic? I'd argue that's the complete opposite of democracy.
Howard, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
There we go. Dorothy being the only person of sound mind throughout this entire series yet again. Alright, third time's the charm. Our men are inside, they have the right tools. The door is taped, and it's going on without any hiccups. The following scene is actually pretty sad. Gordon and Howard are at like one of Howard's many country clubs that he owes a shit ton of money to. They're celebrating the success of attempt number 3 when two men walk in. Howard runs up and greets them like they're best friends, to where the two men just brush him off and shit on him like two girls in one cup.
This is Fred Jessup.
Walter.
Gordon.
Can you call Lewis about Saturday? We still need a foreign. 9 a.m. tea time.
So after the club, our two bozos head over to John Dean's, in which they are greeted with like this weird like standing applause from John Dean and then the other guy whose name I can't remember. Before presenting them with the transcripts from the bugs and the wiretaps that they put in. So after reading the secretary's bug, Howard kind of gets cocky. He's like, come on, get to the juicy details, right?
This one is inoperative.
And I have to say, between all three viewings, my original viewing, watching it with Lady Maj the second time, and then reviewing this episode a third time for you guys, this scene never ceases to make me cackle.
What?
Sorry, inoperative.
Inoperative.
The opposite of operative.
The only working microphone that you and your team planted is the one on the phone of the secretary who now looks like Shelley Winters.
It just cracks me the fuck up. Alright, let's roll up our sleeves, look for, it's time to give McGovern one last plan.
So then these filthy hippies, covered in McGovern buttons, they just piss all over the hotel carpet in the presidential suite.
It's a classic false flag and cheap.
Magruder is such an asshole, and it's just so great because you can see how he set Howard and Gordon up to take these massive blows.
Do you know who's got that suite booked the day after McGovern?
No, but I am sure we will be hearing about it.
Poor bastard.
I'll spare you the wait. It's me. I'm staying in that suite for our convention, you idiots. And I don't want any goddamn drug addicts pissing all over my carpet!
Howard has a change of heart and wants to go to Paris to spend time with his family instead of trying to stop communism. Gordon calls Howard, trying to convince him to do this the 4th time break-in, in which Howard is like, no, fuck you, I'm going to Paris with my family, and yet again, Dorothy is spitting facts.
I have to tell you, Howard, this is sounding more and more like the Bay of Pigs.
Howard agrees for some reason, but then says he has to run to the White House to grab his passport because I guess it's locked there in a safe. Gordon approaches and they go on a little walk using Howard's insecurities against him to try to get him to break in a 4th time. In which Gordon convinces him, and then the 4th break-in is a go. Dorothy leaves for Paris with Kevin and the youngest son. I don't remember his name. I don't think they ever mentioned it. I'm sorry. Essentially following the same plan as the last time, with the exception of Howard and Gordon being at the command base instead of being the ones breaking in. The door is taped, things are going super well until a security guard comes down and notices that there's a tape on the door, so he rips it off before our men can get in there. Thus, leading everybody trapped outside, not being able to get into the door.
Hit the lock myself. Think it was a guard?
Which leaves them heading back to the hotel command base. At this point, shit is so fucked that Howard is just like, abort, we're done.
This operation is over.
I'm in charge, we're not doing this again, it's too risky, we're done. Gordon and this Italian looking mofo, I don't know his name, sorry, I can't remember it. They just start bullying him and playing on his insecurities again. So they break in a 5th time! Well, I guess it's still the 4th time with everything going on, but the point still stands. They're breaking in a 4th or 5th time. So they take a vote for democracy about if they're going to abort the plan or continue with the plan. The vote leads for in the plan's favor, so breaking in yet again. Here we go. But before so, Howard hands one of the Cubans his payment for the country club so that way he can drop it off in a mailbox before trying to break into the hotel. This is very pivotal. Jab, jab, jab! Take the fucking tape off! Back at command base, Gordon and Howard are talking about conspiracies surrounding the JFK assassination.
Where were you on November 22nd, 1963?
I was with Dorothy in a Chinese restaurant downtown D.C. Like I told the Warren Commission.
The crew is breaking into the filing cabinets, taking pictures of literally everything that they can. Super duper quick. They're like, fucking Lady Gaga paparazzi up in that bitch. But this is when the security guard notices the tape on the door for the 2nd night in a row. Let that sink in. These professional spy men are this fucking dumb. I'm not even a spy person. I'm like a good Samaritan, I guess. And I would even remember to take that shit off.
Hey Bobby, it's Wills. I'm in the garage. Yeah, I got a situation down here.
So the security guard finds the tape and he decides that this is time to take action. This is the 2nd night in a row this has happened. Time to take action.
Unit 3 to Unit 1, come in, over. Are our guys dressed like hippies? Over.
Why over?
There are 3 guys dressed like hippies on 6, and they've got flashlights. Over.
Probably cleaning staff. Over.
They've got guns. Over.
The last 5 minutes of the episode are actually super suspenseful and intense that I can actually feel my heart beating, even when I watched it the 3rd time through, just to review it for you guys. The writers did a wonderful job of making you feel like you were part of the break-in crew, or at least made them relatable to the audience.
Cops.
Stay off this channel, maintain radio silence, pack up and get out. Over. Unit 1 to Unit 2, come in.
Why the hell isn't he answering?
Unit 2 to Unit 1. They got us. Let's sit tight. I don't know who they are.
Macho has a room key to this room.
Then the panic that ensues is just exactly how I would react in this situation, I think.
Fuck! 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 What's taking you so long? It's too tight! He's open his tightening! Don't panic! Fuck! No! Don't panic!
Our episode comes to a conclusion with Howard and Gordon escaping down the alley with all of their stuff. The cops questioning the men about things.
Who the fuck are you guys?
Specifically the Lakewood Country Club letter that Howard told Jeb to drop in the mailbox. I bet you didn't think that would come into play, did you? Alright, that's gonna do it for our episode 3 review of HBO's original series, The White House Plumbers. I just want to say I know this was a little bit longer of a review, but there was a lot to unpack in this episode. And as always, thank you for coming back and watching each video as they come out. I know my schedule has been a little crazy lately because of the health issues and stuff like that, but I really appreciate you guys coming back and hanging around for the content. Make sure to subscribe and turn notifications on so you never miss an upload. Comment below your thoughts on the series so far. If you have any other TV or shows you would want me to review, make sure to comment them below as well. And until next time, I love you guys. See ya.
My name is Frank Wills, that's no mistake. I patrol the halls at the Watergate, June the 17th and 72.